Good day to you. We bring to you the Lord's Word and the Lord's vision. And the Lord's Word came to us from Psalm 65 today. There are three groanings, cries that arise from to the heavens. One, the desire of the godly to be drawn by His glory. Desire of the godly to be drawn by the glory of the Lord, that the Lord's glory will come near to us. Secondly, it's the cry of those men of peace who are looking for God's peace. And they have a cry, oh, how may we have the peace of God. Thirdly, Mother Lanka and the nation, any nation, there's a cry, oh, who will heal me? Give me a daughter to wipe my shame. Give me a son who will make me strong, because the sins of the nation have wearied me. So three cries agreeing that the glory of God must come nearer. This is the cry of God's heart. And the Lord begins this in Isaiah 66. He said, what kind of sanctuary are you going to make for me? And then he said, this is the sanctuary I'm looking for. But to this one I will look, to him who is humble and contrite of spirit, and who trembles at my word. That's the sanctuary God looks for. And then when that person is pregnant with the glory of God, before she travailed, she brought forth. So that person begins to feel the cry of the nation, begins to feel the cry of those who don't know Him. And in his own heart there's a cry that glory comes. And when glory comes, glory wants to produce. That's the nature of God's glory. And glory wants to produce sons and daughters. And then he begins to travail. Shall I bring to the point of birth and not give delivery? This is Isaiah 66:9. Shall I, who gives delivery, shut the womb? No, obviously not. Be joyful with Jerusalem. Rejoice for her, all you love her. Be exceedingly glad with her, all you who mourn over her, because you may nurse and be satisfied with her comforting breast, so that a nation may become filled and healed with the glory of God. Behold, I extend peace to her like a river, and the glory of the nations like an overflowing stream. You will be nursed, you will be carried on the hip and fondled on the knees. This is the desire of every nation. This is the mission of the church. So Psalm 65 assures us there will be praise in Zion for God. So when praise fills Zion, Zion is stabilized with God's praise. And Zion becomes a tower of praise. All kinds of waves, unrest, distress may assail, but the Zion of God, the person, God's people who are filled with God's glory, filled with God's praise, becomes a stabilizer. So when there is a column that will not shake, the waves come and break on it and diffuse. They disappear. O you who hear prayer, to you all men come. Iniquities prevail against me. As for our transgressions, you forgive them. So he's speaking for the nation, that the nation has iniquities, but God forgives the transgression in the repentance, sorrowing heart, godly sorrow of God's people. He forgives. How blessed is the one whom you choose and bring near to you. This is God's way of healing nations. He brings God's people nearer Him. To dwell in your courts, you will be satisfied. We will be satisfied with the goodness of your house, your holy temple. And the goodness of the Lord's house overflows through us to the rest of the nation. By awesome deeds you answer us in righteousness, O God of our salvation. So the Lord may do something awesome, drastic, that's His prerogative, to punish the wicked. But our position is that we draw nearer, and the glory of God begins to fill us, and the mercy and the grace of God begins to move into the nation, because we are waiting in glory in God's courts. Then God will still the roaring of the seas, the anguish of the people, the wickedness of the people. You visit the earth, verse 9. Psalm 65 verse 9. You visit the earth and cause it to overflow. You greatly enrich it. The streams of God is full of water. You prepare their grain, for thus you prepare the earth. So God's glory heals the earth and makes it prosperous. God's glory arises and destroys the powers of darkness, networkings of darkness, and God's glory spreads, drawing people to God's favor. This is how God heals a nation. God changes a nation. God bless you and God keep you.